We all love the first one, but the second movie sucked. Trying to catch lightning in a bottle, 2 times takes a lot. Brian, Tim, and Dave are watching movies that are lame. These are the sequels that aren't equal.
Hi, everyone, and welcome to Sequels That Aren't Equal, the show that looks at beloved major motion pictures that get a follow-up film that falls well short. I am your co-host, Brian.
I'm David.
And I'm Tim.
And we're new to this, so please bear with us as we're getting our sea legs. So this is a show where every week we look at, like I said, sequels that follow up movies and are not nearly as good. We are on YouTube and also on podcasts, any platform that you get your podcasts, such as Spotify or Stitcher. So if you find us on the one platform and would like to visit us on the other, please feel free. Last week we discussed Caddyshack 2, very terrible movie. And this week we're following it up with another dumpster fire, American Psycho 2.
All-American Girl.
All-American girl.
Yeah, this one has a hyphen or a colon, All-American Girl.
It's colon for sure. It came out the colon. This movie came out the colon. Even though it's better than Caddyshack 2, though. Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler
Better
alert.
than Caddyshack 2. All right, so who wants to tell us about American Psycho? Tim, you want to set up American Psycho?
A little bit about OG with Patrick Bateman, a.k.a.
Yes.
Yeah.
Christian Bale. Tell us
Yes.
a little bit about that one.
See, the movie is written by Brett Ellis, book, American Psycho. I heard the book's pretty popular. I
Never read it. I've never read it.
Me either. I feel like books ruin movies. You know, somehow like that. I want to read any spoilers. I want to see the movie before the book. Many books I've done that too. I've seen the movie, then read the book. American Psycho is not one of them, but Less Than Zero, another book by Brett Ellis that's made into a movie. I watched that movie, loved it so much, went back and read the book. One of the first adult things I've ever done. So anyway, American Psycho, Christian Bale. Yeah, I knew you were saying. I knew I made it.
Stop getting a prostate problem.
I seen Rain Man, and I liked it. I was like, I'm an adult now. You know what I'm saying? I like adult movies. I'm nominated for Academy Awards. So, yeah.
Different kind of adult, but yes, go ahead.
But here comes American Psycho. All right, I didn't see it in theaters. One of those movies I seen on VHS, and it blew me away. I was like, how did I miss this? I don't remember being that big of a deal when it came out in theaters. Of course, we're talking maybe freshman, sophomore year in high school, so I might have more important things to worry about. Even though I was attuned to, New Jack City, I was more into like hip hop, New Jack City, do the right thing, I was trying to be a hip hop kid, maybe not concerned with like suburban movies like American Psycho. But Christian Bale plays a narcissistic sociopath, serial killer. He's everything you don't want in a human being. Now, this movie is set, it's got a great, can we say as far as like, is it a horror movie or a thriller? Is it Silence of the Lambs or is it more traditional horror movie? What do you guys think?
So, here's my white hot take.
Yeah.
It's neither of those two. It's a comedy.
Oh, okay, I respect
American Psycho is supposed to be viewed as a
and it's fun.
comedy.
There is,
It is fun.
It's very dark humor, satirical.
I love it. That whole Huey Lewis monologue.
Yes.
Like,
was
if
great.
you could do that at an audition and you nail it, I think you get the part because it is genius. When he goes on that rant about Studio with Phil Collins and Genesis, and then the Huey Lewis one before he kills people, man, I love every one of those monologues. It's genius.
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, wasn't the studio kind of worried about his performance and style? Because I know initially they wanted Leonardo DiCaprio, which solid actor, but I think that would have been a completely different movie. Absolutely. And I think it's one of those things where when they saw it, like especially the famous scene where he's talking about Huey Lewis to the news and that performance, I feel like the studio's maybe like a little nervous, like what is this? Like when Johnny Depp did Jack Sparrow, and the studios were like, oh my God, what is this performance? And then it's like, oh no, it was brilliant.
Oh yeah, it worked out just fine.
Yeah, and I think that's kind of like this, where it's a weird performance, but it works.
Oh,
with
it
this
works
movie.
perfectly. You know who he's basing that performance on, right?
No, I do not. Who?
No, this is true. So Christian Bale as Patrick
Bateman, yeah.
Thank you.
I got a business card.
Is doing Tom Cruise.
Wow.
He saw Tom Cruise give an interview about whatever the newest Tom Cruise movie was at the moment, and he said that he had like a shark smile and dead eyes, and he said, "That's Patrick Bateman." And so,
Wow, that's how people look at Tom Cruise, huh?
yeah. So
Yeah.
Patrick Bateman is Christian Bale doing Tom Cruise, and that's the genesis of that role. Now, he was originally I'm sorry, I do not remember the director's name. But the woman that eventually goes on to direct
Patty Jenkins?
It's Mary Herron.
Thank you. Sorry, Harry. So she was originally hired to direct the film, and she went to bat for Bateman. She said, "Bateman's my guy. Christian Bale's my guy. I want Christian Bale." And the studio said, "No, we don't. We don't."
Yeah, he
want
wasn't
him."
a name at the time.
No, he wasn't a name at the time.
He was in a Spielberg movie, though.
right
As a kid.
Yeah, it's been a while since Empire
Great kid performed his son.
or Newsies. And
Yeah, that's right.
Newsies.
His role in Newsies
Right,
did
no
not
Newsies
did
for all
not
the good.
land him Patrick Bateman. Anyway, so she's like, "Dude, it's Bale or I'm out." And they said, "Well, then you're out." And they actually fired her and went through several other directors, and then they were attached for a while and then dropped out, and then they went back to her, and then she's like, "You have to let me cast Christian Bale as Patrick Bateman." And I think the reason why he did such a great job in that role is he said he hated Patrick Bateman. He says this is a horrible human being. Whereas they said that other young, hot actors that they were bringing in and having them read for the part, like they thought Patrick Bateman was cool and like someone to look up to. And so they were like, lauding him and venerating him. Whereas Christian Bale's like, "Oh no, this guy is horrible." And I think the way to play Patrick Bateman is to look at him and even as the actor, play him from a place of contempt. Because it is, like I said, it is a comedy, it is a satire, it is a complete takedown of 80s consumerism, 80s, yuppieism, everything bad about the stock market and capitalism and consumerism. It is a takedown of all of those things. Basically, they are saying that it's the businessman who's the American psycho. And of course, many people say, and I agree, that the murders actually never did take place in the first one. It's just he's so detached from humanity that these are kind of like his fantasies that we're seeing play out. I don't know. What do you guys think? Did the murders of American Psycho actually happen or not?
Yeah, I know that's hotly discussed. As we learn in the sequel, they did happen.
100%.
From the first scene, we learned that. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, maybe they didn't, because I know, yeah, I mean, I guess it was all in his head because he's so delusional.
Right.
So maybe it never did happen.
Okay, so I rewatched American Psycho after watching American Psycho 2. Again, had to cleanse the palate and go back to the font. And the very first time we ever see him say something psychotic is when he's at the bar, he's talking to the female bartender, she turns her back to him, and he says he wants to kill her, right? Something like, "I want to bash her head in." I can't remember exactly what he says. But as you're watching the film, every time they're talking, you've got the close-up on her, the close-up on him, the crossing close-ups. That line is delivered, and the camera is looking at him through the mirror.
Oh, okay, nice.
And
move.
that is
All
the
right.
only time that happens. And so that was, in my opinion, the director telegraphing to me that this is a reflection of Patrick Bateman that we're seeing and not really Patrick Bateman.
That's why you're on the show, bro, for those deep dives. Those deep dives.
Deep thoughts.
In case you missed it.
In case you missed it. So yeah, go back, watch the original American Psycho. The very first psychotic thing he says, he's looking at her, but the camera's looking at him in a mirror. It's not looking at him. So this is a reflection, a projection of Patrick Bateman, which of course gets completely thrown out the very first scene of the sequel.
Yeah.
Oh, the sequel goes ahead and just treats American Psycho, the original film, as a big toilet and just takes a huge dump. A Shatner stuff. They took a Shatner in there. Not a shit, but a Shatner.
Oh yeah, no. That's horrible. So I guess before we discuss American Psycho 2, does the plot of American Psycho 1 lend itself to a sequel? Should we have ever gotten a sequel to American Psycho?
Without Christian Bale? No.
Yeah, I don't think there's a sequel there.
No, I don't think there's a sequel there.
It's a one and done.
It's a one and done. And now, Dave, tell us the story of American Psycho 2, because it really didn't start life as American Psycho.
Oh, yeah. No, I'm excited for this. So first, let me just say, yeah, American Psycho came out in 2000. and I was a senior in high school, and it was one of those cool movies. I saw it on video DVD, to be exact, because DVD was like the hot thing. I actually bought a DVD player summer of '99. I was the first person I knew with a DVD player.
And let me guess, don't say it. It came with a copy of Lost in Space.
Probably. There was like 5 movies it came with. I'm sure that was on there.
Right.
So yeah, that one came out. It was very cool, and it came out, 2000, and I want to say in the late 90s, early 2000s. There was this new resurgence in film. I feel like 99, you had Fight Club, Matrix. There was a lot of cool cinema. Yeah.
99 was a seminal year.
Fincher, David Fincher. You had like P.T. Anderson, Wes Anderson, Michel Gondry, all these guys. I feel like that was like this big kind of new renaissance of film, right? The early 90s, you had your Tarantino, Rodriguez, Kevin Smith.
Greatest decade ever.
And then late 90s,
Yeah, 90s was the second wave.
There was Virgin Suicides, Sofia Coppola. And I was like way into film, I was one of those pretentious high school kids. So I ate up all this kind of cinema, and I remember this was a cool movie.
Oh yeah,
and Christian Bale was cool, and it was like, oh man, this is a performance. So yeah, so this was like a beloved, oh yeah, this is cool. You got to see. It was definitely, like I said, it wasn't a big box office hit at the time. Yeah, so budget $7 million, gross 15 domestic, 34 worldwide.
Right, so not a failure.
So it did okay, then worldwide.
Definitely a bigger hit post release, right? It had to be.
It was a very
blockbuster banger.
Yeah.
There were guys in Blockbuster, and if you had a hometown video store left in 2000, those guys probably made American Psycho a bigger movie than any kind of marketing they did pre-release.
Yeah, you got to see this.
Yeah, you got to see it.
It was a very
There's always that guy at the video store, You remember Staff Picks? I'm sure American Psycho was there.
Yeah.
On top of the pyramid. In my place, my Blockbuster did like a pyramid. Like the staff pick you had to see the most was always at the top.
Oh, yeah. And so, of course, it did well, cult classic developed. And so, yeah, the studio was definitely hot. All right, well, let's make a sequel, Lionsgate. So there was a movie, we do definitely have to talk about The Laws of Attraction.
Yeah.
Or no, sorry, that's the terrible Julianne Moore rom-com. The Rules of Attraction.
The Rules of Attraction. There we go. Which was supposed to be the sequel to American Psycho.
All rom-coms.
Which was written by Ellis, and it stars Sean Bateman, which is Patrick Bateman's younger brother, and it's in high school or college. I think they're starting college, and there's no murder in it, but the studio was like, well, hey, can we add murder? Can we, they wanted to make that a sequel, and a
proper sequel.
Yeah, let's make this a sequel.
Right.
And so there was pushback, and this is a great example of the artistry versus industry, right? So you have the artists are like, I have a story to tell. Studios are like, we've got toys to sell, right?
Yeah.
It's that battle of we need to make money, and hey, sequels make money. Not always, but you can get people into seats. So you got Rules of Attraction, and they really want to make it and as a proper sequel. There was pushback. They actually did film a few scenes with Patrick Bateman talking to Sean Bateman.
Oh man!
And of course, Christian Bale wouldn't do it.
Right.
They did cast someone else.
Who played Patrick?
Casper Van Dien.
Oh, nice.
Which I'd have been all right. So yeah, I guess there were a few scenes they did film. He wasn't killing anyone, but they did ultimately cut it out. And yeah, Rules of Attraction was another cool movie.
Right.
And the only thing I remember was the split screen scene. That was the scene everyone talked about. I don't know if you remember. It's like a 4-minute scene with one character, James Van Der Beek as Sean Bateman, and then, a love interest girl. And it's split screen, and they're walking, and after 3 minutes of split screen, they finally meet. And so it becomes, you're just looking at both of them. And then the cameras both turn simultaneously. So your two shots become one shot.
Oh my God.
Become one. And that was one of those where everyone blew their mind, dude, that scene, so it became cool. So that was also a cool movie. So
it was a cool movie.
Cool movies.
Cool movies, right? Early 2000s, that was cool.
And also, let's not forget to mention that serial killers were very cool in the in the 90s going into the 2000s, right? So
Still are today.
Yeah.
On Netflix.
More now than ever.
well, more now than ever because, Dahmer files. But I mean, kicking it off with Silence of the Lambs, of course, which
Hello, Clarice.
blew up much bigger than anyone expected it to, and then opened the floodgates to the 90s being about serial killers, right? You had your natural born killers, you had your Seven, on and on and on of these serial killer movies. California with Brad Pitt.
Oh, yeah. California with a K. Yeah.
California with it's been a few years since I've seen it, but I'm just saying that there was a whole wave of serial killer movies in the 90s, off of the success of Silence of the Lambs. So of course, when American Psycho came out about a serial killer, kind of, although he never really committed the murders, then, that was them just going, hey, serial killers are hot. They tried to shove a serial killer into a movie where he didn't belong, but they had already purchased the script that did involve a serial killer, and that's The Girl Who Wouldn't Die.
Yeah, so like I said, Lionsgate, they really want to make that sequel, and Rules of Attraction wasn't going to do it for them. So yeah, so they literally found a movie already in production. And that's what's crazy is because, I mean, Hollywood will often take a random script and just make it a sequel to something else, right? Like 10 Cloverfield Lane began as some random movie. They're like, well, what if we made it so the Cloverfield aliens in it?
Right.
Or you take, some random action film and you're like, you know what? Now it's John McClane as the hero, So like, this is something Hollywood does. But I think this had to be the first, maybe only time that they took a movie literally in production, like already being made. It was like, hold on, this is now a sequel to American Psycho.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, no, it had already started production.
I want to see the William Shatner freak out when he finds that out.
Yeah, well,
Good God, we're shooting another movie. Now it's going to be American Psycho 2.
Mila Kunis gave an interview to MTV where she said she was pissed.
Yeah.
Oh,
She
would be
was-
too,
She
yeah.
was angry. She's like, why? No, this is an American Psycho. What are you doing? It was this serial killer comedy that was completely independent. And like you said, already in production.
Yeah.
When Lionsgate went to the producers and were like, by the way, you're now making American Psycho 2. Carry on.
That was a begrudging set for the rest of the shoot, I bet.
I mean, a terrible title. The Girl Who Wouldn't Die sounds like Homer Simpson naming a movie when he's talking about speed and calls it The Bus That Couldn't Slow Down. I feel like that's The Girl Who Wouldn't Die.
Oh, and by the way, that makes no sense in the context of the movie.
Yeah.
Because at no point did anyone try to kill Mila Kunis. So
Maybe there's scenes on the cutting room floor where that's the case, but then it's like, this doesn't make sense in American Psycho 2, so we got to cut all that stuff out. Because it seems like a very choppy movie when you watch some of the edits in this movie. It's like, hey, that's odd,
yeah, there probably is stuff on the cutting room floor. So obviously we will not discuss like we normally do as far as like who came back from the original, who didn't want to participate and why, because this is a case where none of the people involved in the sequel,
Hollywood A-listers.
none of them knew they were going to be in an American Psycho movie when they signed up to be in the movie they are in. They just became in an American Psycho movie. So, Mila Kunis, William Shatner, and a bunch of other kind
A
of...
lot of girls that were in Maximum Details.
And so, yeah, these people did not sign on to an American Psycho movie. So it's like kind of hard to table set how the sequel, came about because it didn't come about. They just shoved a square peg into a round hole, and that is American Psycho 2. So with that, yeah, since we're not going to set up who returned, I guess we should walk through the plot of this thing, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I guess start with the opening scene that just ruins the first movie.
Yeah. Let's table set that. So, of course, going into this, I didn't know any of this context when I sat down to watch the movie because I try to watch the movie first and just take it in as a viewer, and then I watch the context. So, right off the bat, I was happy to see that it was a comedy because, again, I hold that American Psycho 1 is a comedy. So when I saw it open up and it's a comedy, I'm like, good, these people get it. American Psycho is supposed to be a comedy. However, I was not expecting the tone of this comedy.
Yeah, the tone, was shockingly,
Light. Shockingly light.
Yeah, so coming from, a more dark, satirical, comedy of the original to this. Yeah, it was definitely, what?
It felt very much like a 90s rom-com, which, by the way, she murders someone every 10 minutes or so. But if you, aside from the murder, it feels like a 90s rom-com starring Mila Kunis. The tone is really
On
weird.
CW.
Yeah, no, it does.
ACC and Frog. He's been canceled.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, I've got the plot here if we want to walk through it.
Yeah.
All right. So the big thing is the film starts with a 12-year-old girl, right? So it opens up. We see this girl and she's bound up. She's duct taped. Wait, what's going on? Camera pulls back to reveal that it is Patrick Bateman is killing her babysitter in front of her eyes. And it is Patrick, like she has a voiceover throughout the movie. She calls him Patrick Bateman. You never see his face, of course.
Never talked, right? He never spoke a word.
Never said a
And that's
word.
not Patrick Bateman. MO right there.
No, of course, right? But yeah, this is Patrick Bateman, and he is in the midst of killing her babysitter because for some reason, and they try to explain it, and it makes no sense, that this girl went on a date with Patrick Bateman, but brought this 12-year-old girl that she was babysitting on the date.
Yeah.
And that he still decided to kill her in front of this girl while they were on the date. All we know is that there is a, young woman in her 20s getting murdered by Patrick Bateman in front of the eyes of a 12-year-old, but she manages to, get out of her ropes, grabs an ice pick, and kills Patrick Bateman. And that's how it starts, with her proudly killing Patrick Bateman, the famed serial killer. And that is the open, which, like you said, completely undoes the whole
With no
mystery.
music playing, though. No
Yeah,
80s pop.
Was it real? Wasn't it?
Yeah.
With no Huey Lewis.
Yeah.
No Whitney, no nothing, no
because
Phil
the
Collins.
original, it's supposed to be like 87, 88, late 80s. And then this is now, like 2000, early 2000s. And she was 13. I tried to do the math. I think it'd been 6 years, 7 years post when American Psycho was taking place.
Correct.
So it should be in the year 93. When it begins, right? When she kills him, it would be early 90s.
Yes.
And then
around
now
94. So I agree. 93, 94. So that means was Patrick Bateman, did he make the shift to grunge like a lot of people did?
Did he give us
golden era hip hop?
Indie commercialism?
Pearl Jam actually comes from a group called Mother Love Bone. He had a great hit with Chloe Dancer. Because to give the whole birth of Pearl Jam monologue, Right. That's what I want to know. Who's he clouting about?
Yeah.
I think Patrick Bateman would definitely be a Alice in Chains fan.
Oh, you think so? All right.
I can see that, man.
NWA, considered the Beatles of hip hop.
So now what's very strange is this young girl who we hear all of this in voiceover, and she kills Patrick Bateman, but then she slips out and doesn't want anyone to know that she did this, even though she totally killed him in self-defense. So this wasn't a murder, but she did.
Nobody missed this babysitter.
Yeah.
What happened? Your babysitter died last night. Were you a witness?
Yeah, so, she snuck out, didn't want anyone to know that she was the one that killed Patrick Bateman, and then said that her biggest aspiration at that point was to eventually join the FBI so that she could hunt down serial killers. So, we're 5 minutes in this movie, and I'm like, oh, they're going to do a Dexter.
That's where I thought this was going.
We're going to Dexter here.
And we wish it was Dexter.
Yeah.
The first 4 seasons.
Yeah, there's no Dextering in this.
Yeah.
It's like the last season of Dexter. It's cut into a movie.
No, she doesn't kill anyone bad. Every single one of her victims.
It is CW killing for sure.
Yeah, every one of her
WB.
victims from that point forward did not deserve to die.
What was the best kill, though? Actually, there were some kills I've never seen before in horror history. I mean, it was
Choking
lame.
with a condom?
Choking with a condom.
That was good.
Yeah. And she blew a
For
kiss.
pleasure joke.
Now, are we going to do spoilers on this movie?
Yeah, no, of course we're doing spoilers, but we'll get to that kiss though, because that is very strange.
Yeah, I was like, I can't believe I just seen it.
Yeah, I know. So anyway, now we cut to, she's in college, right? So this Rachel, she's a freshman in college, and she is in the class of the career launching criminologist Starkman, played by William Shatner.
Yeah. Good God, I'm in this movie.
Played very large by William Shatner.
Well, he's subdued now. There's a part of this movie where it's not full. We get full Shatner, which is glorious. Yeah. But there's a time in this movie, we got to build up to the full Shatner.
Well, yeah, you don't wrap the Shatner.
Smartness, yeah. Shatner's always smart. He ramps it up. Then when he goes full Shatner, it's full Shatner, and it's glorious.
Right. So Shatner plays this guy named Starkman, and at this college, he teaches criminology. And basically, if you are this guy's TA, it's pretty much a guaranteed ticket to get
Fast track.
into the FBI.
This is the most coveted TA position in the history
You're
of college.
his TA. It is guaranteed.
Worth the kill for.
Well, apparently. You're his TA. You will be in the FBI. And of course, young Rachel, who we learned at the beginning, wants nothing more than to be in the FBI so she can hunt down serial killers. She's in the class and she is dead set to be his next TA. But she's got competition. There's Brian, and we gotta
tool
talk.
bag Brian.
We gotta talk about Brian.
Oh, not to offend any Brian's in the room, but tool bag Brian.
No. The character of Brian is so bizarre. So Brian is a fellow classmate of Rachel, and he also wants to join the FBI. But Brian is super rich. He is very, very rich. How rich is Brian, you ask?
Oh.
How rich, yeah.
At one point, Brian tells Rachel, if you drop out of the running for the TA position, I will give you a 7-figure settlement.
7.
That's $1 million.
Which he turns down.
Which she turns down. This man, who is rich, wants to be in the FBI. He wants to be a government employee making, barely 6 figures for the rest of his life.
He could Happy Gilmore the rest of his life.
Well, okay, listen. If you're middle class,
Government benefits.
listen, if you're middle class,
benefits.
you could do a lot worse than being in the FBI. I grant you that.
Yeah.
If you are so rich that you could pay someone $1 million, why is this man not trying to bribe his way into a senatorship or bribe his way into like a construction contract? Why is he bribing his way into what is basically, middle management? He's got very humble dreams. So yeah, that's Brian, and that's his father. I think at one point they said he's going to end up donating a building
yeah.
to the college.
Wow, yeah.
So
So if it's a college movie, some dad's going to donate a building.
Yeah, so that's how Brian is the threat to Rachel, because his dad is so rich, he's going to buy him into the FBI, because why you'd want to work for the government if you were that rich, I don't know. Okay. And then
I forget, in the classroom scene, is she wearing the American flag shirt in that moment, or is
Yes.
that later? That comes up several times.
Yeah. All-American girl.
Yeah,
I think she's wearing the American flag shirt first day of class, yes.
okay, yeah, she wears the American flag shirt several times. And I have to think that was like the studio saying, like, this is American Psycho. Like,
we need American shirt.
she's got to wear an American shirt so that people know this is American Psycho, because otherwise they're not going to know.
Like the first one's about consumerism, this is about women entering the workforce.
I don't know what this one's about, actually. So, all right, the first one, like I said, it's a comedy, right? It's a very dark satire. There is potential here to mine, the whole college competitive, academics, and try to mine some satire out of that, but they don't. There's no satire in this whatsoever. She wants the job. Okay, so she's also got a girl in her class named Cassandra. Cassandra is the pretty girl, and she is banging Starkman, and that's her way to get into
Shatner's character.
Yeah, right. So she's banging William Shatner, and that's her way to guarantee that she's going to be the TA so that she can go to the FBI. There's a third student, and he is actually like smart. and that's how he's going to get it. So Rachel sees all of these people as a threat. So, I'm sitting there watching it going, how is this American Psycho? This is so weird, because all of this is like, all this table setting is like in the first 10 minutes. So then she goes to some administrator in her college, and she wants to apply to be the TA, because it's time to apply to be the TA. And this poor secretary tells her, oh yeah, sorry, you're a freshman. Freshmen aren't qualified for the TA position.
Yeah, there's rules.
Yeah.
There's okay. So what does she do? She kills this woman. Yeah, and I was sitting there going,
bad news.
In her own house, in front of her cat, Ricky Martin.
that's right.
Yes, the cat's name was Ricky Martin. She said it a couple times to make sure you got that joke.
Yeah, it wasn't funny the first time, nor the third, but yeah,
It's going to be a lap dog, really. When I first watched it, I was like, oh, this is going to be a stupid poodle, a Dorothy dog.
Right.
It's a cat,
yeah, Ricky Martin the cat. She goes to her home and kills her. And I remember
But
watching
first they found the cat in the microwave, but the microwave's not turned on.
Right.
Which really horrified me at first. I was like, oh.
I was like, wow, this is dark
I don't
for,
like me being mean to cat movies, but then she's in the microwave. I was like, oh my God, don't do it. She opens the door, cat say, everything's right in the world. Go ahead and kill this lady.
Yeah, so you're saying killing the human, that's fine.
Oh, that's
Just don't kill
okay.
the
Yeah,
cat.
just don't kill that beautiful.
Oh my God.
Beautiful
Yeah.
feline cat. The all-American pet is a feline cat.
All right. Well, she does in fact kill the secretary that gave her the bad news. And I remember watching that and thinking, okay, but that's not going to change the rule. You just shot the messenger.
Yeah.
Like she doesn't have the power to make
No.
the rule. She's just telling you, hey, you can't
She's
apply.
she's a cog in the machine, though. The consumerism American women in the workforce machine.
No, you're trying to make this movie way deeper than it wants to be.
I'm trying to help it out, you know? That's what we're here to do.
That's that scene. And then basically right after that, we have the dinner scene where Brian, he takes her out, he wines her and dines her. And that's when he pops the, I will pay you $1 million if you walk away from this job.
Well, first off, let's look at the fact this guy orders the stupidest drink for what? A 19, 20-year-old kid? You can have
a martini
They're both
dry?
drinking, which means they're both over 21. So she's a freshman in college at 21, but we'll forget that.
No,
okay?
she's under drinking age.
Yeah, but she's having a
place is cool.
good glass of wine.
That place is just,
Yeah.
they're cool.
He orders a martini, extra, 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 extra dry, from a waiter who's not only in this part of the movie, but later shows up back in the other part of the movie. Not a guy being killed. He just has to be the waiter at the only restaurant in town, obviously. And he starts out having a normal accent. And then later on in the movie, he's got a French accent. I don't know if you guys noticed that. But that accent comes and goes.
More than like Kevin Costner and Robin Hood.
Oh, it is because obviously they were shooting the girl that couldn't die at first, where he's playing a French waiter. They're like, no, we're going to do American Psycho 2. Now you're an American.
Not everyone has to be American in American Psycho.
Yeah.
Just the psycho has to be American.
It was all American girl. It's about America.
So yeah, then they go out to dinner. And he's like, I'll give you $1 million. You walk away from this. And she's like, no, I can't. But
7 figures could have been more than $1 million.
well, that's true. I mean,
When you ever find
the
out.
9 million. Yeah, well, we know. So, she turns him down. And so then she like flirts. Yeah, but I want you. And he's like, oh, well, okay. If I can't get the job.
Nice trap.
I'll at least, bang Mila Kunis. And so they go back to his place. And then she strangles him with a condom, which, like you said, is one of the more inventive.
Yeah, it was a great kill. I mean, the execution wasn't that great, but the fact that I've never seen anybody get choked out by prophylactic.
Right.
Yeah. Not so safe sex. I was trying to think of a million one-liners on that one.
There you go. Not so
Where can I go? But that's the only one I can cover. That's the only one the brain could click out.
So, then she takes that dude out, all right? And then she learns that, she goes to the party and she learns that this Cassandra girl, she's going to get the job by sleeping with Starkman. So she goes to Cassandra and she's like, hey, this party's dead. Let's go back to our dorms and drink. And for some reason, Cassandra's like, yeah, that sounds like a great idea. Instead of hanging out at this party.
And he's the coolest guy on campus, by the way, William Shatner.
Oh, yeah, no.
He's surrounded by like 20 adoring students on a stairwell.
Yeah, all the girls want William Shatner. Can you blame them?
The men do too.
I can't, yeah.
And so, Kunis gets Cassandra alone and then chokes her. And now, at least in this case, she stages it to look like a suicide. Because her first two victims, she doesn't even bother to stage it to look like a suicide. She just straight up
just killed and walked away.
Yeah, so she is now 3 murders into this movie, not counting Bateman, because that's not a murder, that's self-defense. But she's now 3 murders into this movie. And none of these other people are serial killers, even though that is her stated objective as to why she's doing what she's
people
doing.
in competition for a TA position.
For a teacher's position.
And she's a freshman. She's got 3 more years to get this.
3 more years. Yeah.
Time.
Be patient, kid. All right. Wait your turn.
What's funny is at no point are these murders like really mentioned in the movie. Like,
Thank you. I was gonna bring that
in
up.
the library.
That's
the
the
guy.
next one.
Which is the messiest murder of them all.
There's all these kills and it's not brought up.
Yes, thank you. I was actually going to bring that up next, and that's the fact that they do go out of their way to say that this is a small college town, and everyone in this town is either at the college or some little business supporting the college. This is a very tight-knit college town. So now she is 3 murders into this movie, and no one has brought up any of the previous murders. And she didn't even, one of them she staged to look like a suicide. Fine. The other 2, she just left the box.
Yeah.
Well, we haven't seen the authorities in this town yet. They didn't have to see authorities. You're like,
Wait to get to that.
no wonder.
Yeah.
No wonder.
Yeah, no,
That's probably the most believable part of the movie. Barney fight.
Yeah. Yeah, Keystone Cops,
Yeah.
for sure. So, then now next in her way is, of course, the good student, the bright student. And I'm sorry, I cannot remember that guy's name. But she finds him in the library studying. But then she looks over and she realizes that he's really into like death and destruction too.
A moment of empathy.
Yes, where she's like,
Fluttering.
game recognizing games. She's like, oh, hey, this guy's pretty messed up too. Although key distinction, he doesn't act on his urge to murder. So yeah, now what's hilarious is so she stabs this kid in the library and then just walks away. Again, leaving a body in plain sight.
Yeah. The bloodiest body yet.
Yeah. Now, at this point, one has to kind of like step outside the movie logic and just think about this in real person logic. So if someone were to look at who's getting killed, they are literally all students in the same class who are all vying for the same position as Mila Kunis.
Yeah. That everybody knows is the most coveted teacher's assistant position in all of the education system.
Yeah, so
And this is a criminology class. Student that maybe started ducking. She'd have been the board with the yarn.
With the yarn, yeah, right.
I feel like, students should have been tracking this and
laziness.
Hey, wait a minute. Yeah, all these are connected. Yeah, no.
Does not happen.
No, and you're right. That's hilarious. You're right. This is a criminology class, nonetheless. All right, and so then, for some reason, she decides to visit the school psychiatrist.
Oh, this guy. This guy's a piece of work, dude.
So at no point does she feel conflicted about killing these people. Because again, her whole mission is, I want to get into the FBI so that I can stop serial killers. You would think that maybe there's a moment of, oh, gee, have I become the monster I'm seeking to destroy? Blah, blah. No, there is no self-reflection. But for some reason, because the plot needs it to, she's like, you know what? I'll go see the school shrink. So yeah, at this point in the movie, she goes to see the school shrink. And what's funny is she like starts making fun of the guy, like, oh, you're such a loser. You're like, and I'm sitting there going, the man runs his own psychiatry practice. Like, he's got to be.
What is he with the school? Is he like a guidance counselor?
No, it's like
No. Are we sure? All right.
Or I don't even know if he's. Yeah, no, he is tied to the school. You're right.
But still, I'm sure.
Yeah, he's a mental health professional.
Making money though.
He's doing all right. And she's like, oh, you're a loser. And you like your mom. And I'm like, I like my mom. There's nothing wrong with loving your mom. So yeah, she like basically like berates this guy. And then he calls up William Shatner. He's like, you got a psycho in your class, an American psycho.
Yeah.
He doesn't say that, but he should have.
Can't say her name, but
It's implied that Shatner knows exactly who he's talking about, which is kind of confusing, you know what I'm saying, throughout the movie. And they kind of tie it up at the end. You see it's like, oh, okay, I kind of get it. But the whole time, I thought that Shatner thought he was talking about the blonde girl he was having an affair with. But yeah, it was not the girl either one of them's talking about, you know?
Correct.
You get that towards the end, which they try to do this Kaiser Soze thing, and it doesn't work.
You get that.
Sorry. Sorry.
So let me see here. This is from the wiki. So she decides to see the school psychiatrist. So yes, he is the school psychiatrist. Dr. Eric Daniels.
I mean, he's
medical professional, people. He's not a loser. Medical professional.
2 first names, though. Can't
Yeah,
trust
that's
those people.
true. Okay, so realizing that Rachel is a textbook sociopath that is obsessed with Starkman, Daniels, who happens to be friends with William Shatner, because, you know, that they both work for the university, that makes sense, calls him up and tries to warn him that his student is obsessed with him. And Shatner Wait. Oh, God, this gets so confusing.
It's really confusing in the movie.
It's really confusing in the movie.
I was confused the whole time watching this scene.
That's right. So he's like, hey, I need to warn you about a student, but I'm not going to say her name.
because that's breaking
Yeah. And I feel like this is the scene from The Girl Who Couldn't Die before his American Psycho, too.
Oh, my God, yes.
I feel like this is the original script.
Yeah, so he's telling Shatner, hey, Shatner, there's a girl in your class. She's obsessed with you. She's a psycho. You know, watch your back. And Shatner thinks that he's talking about Cassandra, the girl that Shatner was having an affair with. So he's like, okay, duly noted. And then later, when it comes to light that she has been killed, although found suicided, Shatner,
the movie.
Yeah, Shatner talks to Daniels and says, "Oh yeah, the girl killed herself." And so now it's like one of those things where Shatner thinks the problem's resolved because the psycho student has killed herself, and the doctor thinks that it's Rachel who's killed herself, but then she shows up later, and so he's confused. It just makes no sense. This movie makes no sense. But anyway, once Shatner and it is William Shatner's character who discovers the body of the student he's having the affair with. He goes to visit her to continue the affair, finds her dead body, calls back his doctor. Oh my God, she's killed herself. I need some Valium. He gives her.
You're underselling it.
I'm underselling it.
Yeah, this is what we get. You know, Shatner being Shatner of level 100. This is next level Shatner right here. I'm so glad I got to see this scene. And I'm surprised. I kind of looked up this scene on YouTube. I couldn't find it on YouTube, believe it or not. But there's so many great Shatner being Shatner in this movie. You know how Shatner likes to do the overacting. The best line, my favorite line is, you know, he's talking to psychiatrist about the death. The psychiatrist is explaining it back to him, and he goes, spare me your psycho babble bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Just goes full of Shatner. And he starts out with, see, what's another? I got a lot of notes right here on this one.
Oh, go up.
Eric, for God's sake, she's dead. Which is fantastic. And then they have a whole conversation. He goes, who is? She's a name we agreed not to say out loud. And she goes, she hung herself. And then he asks a psychiatrist, by the way, who has given him details about his other patients he's seen to William Shatner. And William Shatner actually, in all honesty, asked him this question. He goes, we're bound by the guidelines of doctor-patient privilege. Like, he's going to keep that secret. You know? It blew me away. Yeah. I was like, what? Are you that stupid
He
right
never
now?
did say the name of the other girl.
True.
Yeah.
True. And but the best line is, after they go through all this stuff, Shatner, the last line Shatner goes before he hangs up the phone, and he goes, Eric, can you get me some Valium? Was delivered so Shatner-like. I mean, I laughed, that whole scene, I laughed my ass off. It was way funnier than anything we've seen in Caddyshack 2 times 1,000. I laughed more in that scene than I did at anything in Caddyshack 2 at any point, any time.
Well, it is a comedy, so it is good when you laugh.
It was a home run by Shatner. Probably top 3 Shatner performances of all time. I'm going to put Wrath of Khan, probably American Psycho 2, All-American Girl, or The Girl Who Wouldn't Die, and number 3, Kingdom of the Spiders, which you haven't seen. William Shatner, late 60s, early 70s, Kingdom of the Spiders, about a small town being invaded by, guess what? Spiders. It is played. There's a lot of scenes where William Shatner's inappropriately wiping spiders off other females. It was a great excuse for him to be toxic. Oh, there's a spider on your boob. Let me get it off. It's beautiful. Watch Kingdom of Spiders. Wow. You see full Shatner.
Yeah, well,
this is a master class of Shatner.
Now, but was that scene supposed to be as funny as it was, though? Or is this supposed to be
I think when you hire
serious?
William Shatner for something, you know you're not going to get Daniel Day-Lewis. Yeah. You're going to get William Shatner. You know? It can't be My Left Foot. You know? It can't be Daniel Plainview and they're, I have sinned against my son. You know? You can't have Shatner going, I'm going to drink your milkshake. You know what you're getting with Shatner. Yeah, you know, 100%.
that is true. That is true. No, and William Shatner is the funniest thing in this movie. I mean, it's a quote-unquote comedy, but I hate to say it, Mila Kunis, not very funny in this movie.
No Meg Griffin performance at all. And isn't that weird? You hearing Meg Griffin talk the whole time? Yeah. Which there's another aspect to the movie. I'm like, when's Stewie going to pop? Right to you. Throw it away. There's your American Psycho 2, Stewie, animated.
Yes, he asked for the Valium, like you said, and now we're going into spring break. So during spring break, Rachel decides to stay on campus, and she decides, okay, I got to shoot my shot, right? I've taken out all of the impediments now. It's just me and the teachership. And then right before spring break happens, the final class going into spring break, the current teacher's assistant shows up and makes an announcement. The professor is so distraught.
Yep.
He is taking a sabbatical next semester, so there will be no teacher's assistant. So,
and the class is bummed.
Yeah, so she actually, cut off her nose to spite her face. She killed Cassandra. That made the teacher so distraught he couldn't teach, and now she can't be the teacher's assistant. So going into spring break, she decides, I'm going to stay on campus. Everyone's going to leave campus. I'm going to find Shatner, I'm going to seduce Shatner, and I'm going to make him, I guess, teach his class next semester.
Yeah, I'm not sure the end game of that.
I'm going to, well, she shows up.
that little recommendation.
No, she shows up wearing the same dress
great
Cassandra
dress. Yeah.
wears, and she's wearing
The locket.
the locket Cassandra wears. So I have to wonder if like she's trying to say like I'll be your Cassandra, like you should teach this class.
That's
and I'll,
the web she is weaving.
and I'll
The
just-
Black Widow,
I'll
Mila
step
Kunis
right
herself.
into that position.
He fell in it hard.
Oh, he did.
There's that gratuitous close-up of a Shatner POV as one of the highlights of the movies.
Well, he's got it. We got to reveal the necklace that she's wearing. The necklace.
What is a close-up on the necklace? I apologize. There's a close-up of that Kay's jewelry, you know?
Yeah.
A kiss begins.
So she tracks Shatner down, and he's in his office, and he's drunk off of alcohol and Valium.
And Valium.
Yes, and she tries seducing him. Now, Starkman sees she's wearing the dress and the necklace that he had given to Cassandra. She then confesses her crimes to him and her crush on him, and that she knew about all his affairs with various women. That included her former babysitter that Patrick Bateman had murdered. That's where I'm like, man, this movie is losing me, man. So like that first murder that we saw, that girl was a student of William
it's convoluted.
Shatner.
Good luck deciphering.
And he had a file about Bateman, and so she read the file, but then she tracked Bateman down because she's
the
dated
only
him.
sleuth in this movie that he ever said.
right?
She had the board with the yarn.
Yeah, she did the detective work
she figured
because
it out, yeah.
she fell in love with Bateman just reading his dossier and looking at his picture, that she somehow managed to track him down. Now, remember, this is a woman in a criminology class trying to get into the FBI, so you think all she'd have to do is be like, I found him, boys, and
Game over.
next Clarice Starling right now. So, but instead of turning him in, she decided, instead of being Silence of the Lambs, she went Hannibal.
Well, she had to put in that 2 weeks notice on the babysitter position, so she couldn't give up quite yet. So he had to bring the kid along. You know what I'm saying?
So instead, this is all revealed in the scene that the babysitter was Shatner's student, but then became obsessed with Bateman, tracked him down, went on a date, but then brought the girl that she was babysitting
Yes.
on that date.
Responsible.
And Bateman killed her in front of this girl, but then the girl got free and killed Bateman. And all of this is revealed while Shatner is drunk off his ass laying down on this couch.
But it gets worse.
So, question. Now, Bateman at this point, was he a known serial killer in this world? Or was it a Dahmer situation where he wasn't even on anyone's radar until he got caught? And then it was like, oh, this guy's killed a bunch of people. Okay. Like, was he, I forget, do they say, or are they like, they don't even care?
No,
like,
no.
Was he,
So
I forget.
This is where it gets weird. This is why I'm telling you, this woman is acting against her own interest, because she learns about Bateman studying him in Shatner's class. So if they're talking about him, then obviously everybody knows.
Or they know that there's killings happen, but or are they saying, yeah, Patrick Bateman, who's running from the law, has done all these.
Well, yeah, because they cut to, she's looking through the folder and it has the photo of Patrick Bateman.
Oh, yes.
So
That's right, yeah.
they not only know his name, they know what he looks like, but he hasn't been arrested yet.
Yeah, and isn't he? Yeah.
Which is
Gotta
why,
catch him in the act.
which is why I'm telling you people,
So
this woman studying to be a criminologist reads the dossier on Bateman, falls in love with Bateman, but then successfully tracks him down to go out on a date with him. This is not a woman who got picked up in a bar by Bateman. She learned about Bateman and tracked him down. That is why she was doing the only detective work in this film.
Yeah, that makes no sense.
Makes no sense. This movie makes no sense. And we're getting to the twist, people, which will make even less sense. This movie's twist makes 0 sense. So anyway, so she's telling, I keep calling him Shatner. I'm just going to call him Shatner. He's William Shatner, all right? His name is Starkman, but he's William Shatner.
Should be his
Bill
name in
Shatner.
every movie. This is just
Bill
so
Shatner.
Shatner.
Yeah.
Bill Shatner. So she's telling Bill Shatner all this. I've always loved you. She even says, I even loved you when I was 12, because apparently, like, her babysitter.
Yeah, creepy yet? Don't forget about the creepy neck rub she's giving him during this scene.
Okay, no, you gotta let me finish this thought. So she is telling Shatner that not only was my babysitter your student, but she told me about you and you were my first love. This 12-year-old girl and this 50-plus-year-old man.
He's getting a back rub from her at the same time.
Yeah.
I'm just like, this whole scene, I'm just like rubbing my temples like now just going, what is going on in this movie?
But during that scene, Shatner says a line that really, adds context and makes a lot of sense, because we're like, how's this the most coveted teaching position in all the world? It's a fast track to Quantico. And he actually says to her, he goes, is that all you people think about? Is that goddamn teaching assistant job? So he's like, he acknowledges that he really can't do, it's really not the, the myth it's been made up to be. It's really not a fast track to Quantico, That's kind of what the context I got is what he's saying to her. I mean, this is really not the easy step it is to get to Quantico that you think it is.
Oh, I didn't get that at all. I got that to be is like, no, it is short. Like, I am the kingmaker for the FBI, and that's all you people want.
You just want to get in the FBI, which is what every student wants.
Yeah, they are studying criminology. Like, yes, that is what they want. Let's not hold it against them.
Yeah, I feel like he was saying like, hey, you guys are overhyping this thing. It's not that big of. It is a big deal, but not the big a deal as you think it is.
I didn't get that.
It's not being a starting quarterback of a major college. Seeing what it seems like these kids thought it was.
Yeah.
But maybe I could be wrong. Maybe I was tuning out and all I could think about was, how many William Shatner lines I could say during this podcast.
So now we're coming up to the most bizarre death in this film. So now, Bill Shatner has all this information. It is a, very staggering revelation. He gets up, he's confused, he's disoriented, he starts backing up towards the window. And she blows him a kiss and falls out the window.
Genius.
Yes.
What? Am I mistaken? Was there a sound effect of like the kiss hitting him? I think there was. I think she literally blows him a kiss and it pushes him out the window. Like she pushes him out the window.
This has to be a Girl Who Couldn't Die scene. I like to dissect this movie. Like, what was the Girl Who Couldn't Die scene and what was American Psycho 2 All American Girl scene? This has to be the Girl Who Couldn't Die scene because she's just not, and unless there's a ghost possession or comes some kind of, somebody entering her body, taking it over, can a blown kiss knock a person out the window? I don't know what.
Right out the window.
No, she murders him with a kiss.
Discovered by the janitor, by the way.
Okay, well, I was about to get to that. So here we are. This woman has now killed, the school secretary. She's killed 3 of her, classmates. She apparently just killed her professor with a kiss blown across the room. And now she turns and the janitor's just staring at her like mid-mop, like, oh, wow, my goodness. So,
I gotta clean that up.
Cut to next shot. Same janitor, dead in the dumpster with a mop shoved up through his head.
Her driving off with Shatner.
And her driving off with Shatner in the car. And then what happens? She drives up to the little toll gate booth. And the toll booth operator's like, oh, you got a dead body in the car.
He calls her out. He's like, he's doing some kind of busy work with another car, yells at her. She actually stops and goes in reverse.
And kills him. So
I guess her bloodlust. She could have got away.
She could have just driven away.
Driving. But no,
said something.
I gotta kill that guy. Leave no stone unturned. Everybody must die.
Seriously, for a woman that really wants to join the FBI so that she could track down serial killers, she just is racking up that body count.
And this is another Girl That Wouldn't Die scene because he sees the dead body. He shines the flashlight, sees how messed up Shatner is. She gets out the door and says, oh, is there a problem? He asks her what's going on. And then somehow he gets distracted and all of a sudden she moves so fast that she's actually behind him. So
I don't know, like Batman's in.
Yeah, I don't know if there's some supernatural thing in The Girl That Couldn't Die, but it's just one of those things like no matter how sensational you're making a movie, these are only like maybe moves that Freddy, Jason, Michael Myers could pull off.
Oh, that's a good point. Maybe she was supernatural in an early.
In The Girl Who Couldn't Die.
So while all of this is happening, as we're ramping into the third act, Daniels, the school psychiatrist, he finally someone decides to go to the authorities. Which
this guy.
Because Shatner's not answering his phone. He's worried about this girl. And so he finally goes to the cops, and the cops are like, you know what? We're sure getting a lot of missing people report. Like, a lot.
What do you mean? Are you kidding me? Another one?
Another one? Jeez, we're just really racking those up.
But the first deputy he enters is Boyd Banks, who's a character actor. He's seen a lot of stuff. My favorite movie he's in is Dawn of the Dead, the Zack Snyder. He's rolling in the lady with the wheelbarrow. He plays a deputy in this, and right away he goes, do you want some tea? You know, he keeps on, the whole running joke with this, he keeps on offering the psychiatrist tea. And when he goes to the sheriff and talks about the missing people, you see him doing busy work in the background, just sniffing all the different teas. Oh, man, I mean, I looked at the background, I was like, wow, that is some busy work right there. Boyd Banks, you know, that's just why he's a genius character actor. He's seen a lot of stuff because his busy work was just sniffing tea over and over and over for basically a 3-minute scene of them talking. Yep. That's all he does. Then he eventually comes back after he reveals to the sheriff there's missing people. The sheriff's like, oh, you really? There's like a coincidence going on.
Wow. Some bodies.
And, you know, eventually he comes back and asks, you sure you don't want any tea? So it's just a deputy obsessed with tea. It was genius.
Well, I missed the whole tea subplot.
Oh, I don't know. You can miss that tea subplot. It's right there.
Okay.
Oh my, go back. You got to watch that one scene. Just watch. If there's 2 scenes you go back and watch for the rest of your life. The Shatner psychiatrist phone conversation. And then the deputy lovey tea maker. Yeah.
All right. Okay.
It is hilarious. He's back there just sniffing teas.
That is amazing. So, so this is where it's revealed in the movie that these people have gone missing, but apparently not found dead, which I find very surprising because she straight up murders the kid in the library,
leaves the body,
and then walks away.
Yeah.
And he's reported missing. Like these bodies evaporate like a video game afterwards, apparently. And same thing with Brian, who she strangled with a condom. Again, she strangles him with a condom. She walks away. And nope, he's reported missing. And the woman that she kills in her home in the beginning with Ricky Martin the cat, she's also listed as missing.
You figure she emulate Patrick Bateman, you know, since she was so obsessed with Patrick Bateman.
Right.
She kind of emulate his style of killing people, which you think the first kill, you know, Brian notices there's plastic down on the bed. Like, oh, what's going on?
You're speaking as if this was meant to be an American Psycho sequel.
Right.
Those scenes had already been shot before they got the phone call.
It all makes sense now why she strangled him with a condom, but still in a bed covered with plastic.
Right.
You know, just sees what you think. Oh, here comes the axe. He's going to get it good. And he gets strangulated by a prophylactic.
And not one reference to Huey Lewis in the News.
No.
Nothing. Not even any early. Not even. There should have been a. What's the Soul Asylum rundown? You know what I'm saying? There should have been a run. This is Soul Asylum. This song's about missing children. You know what I'm saying? Which would have been like, oh, a lot of these kids are probably missing because they're dead. You know, which would add a little bit more creepiness to it.
Again, if this had been conceived to be a sequel, then perhaps they would have had the forethought to do these things.
Yeah, Hollywood is like our government. They just think we're stupid.
And many times they're correct.
Yeah, they are.
So anyway, here we are. We're building up to the exciting conclusion, people. So at this point, bear with us. So the psychiatrist finally convinces the cops maybe all of these missing people are related and something bad is going on. So let's go track down Mila Kunis. And then how do they find her? Did they just drive past her?
Yeah, they drive past.
Yeah, it's like pure movie coincidence logic. Yeah, because he's like, oh, well, there she is right now. It's okay. And so then they chase her, and she's got William Shatner dead in the car with her. And she, you know, had just killed the janitor. She just killed the toll booth operator guy. And she's driving, and oh no, the cops. And then she pulls over, and the cop walks up. Hey, miss. And then she drives away again. Oh, doop, doop, doop. He gets back in his car, and, you know, he's chasing her. And then her car drives off a cliff and lands in the gully and bursts into flames.
Which you think she might have put a brick on the, you know, the gas pedal, something like that. They never revealed that.
No, they never.
Oh, we need to talk about how this is the worst police chase scene movie. The music. I don't know if you guys, right? The music, I was like, what?
Thank you.
This
whole
it's
movie
like
stopped.
Danny Elfman circus music.
I put the same thing. I put Danny Elfman country.
And I was like, and what's great is I was like, and it's coming from the stereo.
It's diegetic.
It's diegetic. I was like,
it is
this a radio?
diegetic,
Like, what is
people.
this? Like,
And it keeps cutting between score and diegetic.
Yeah,
And
I was-
guys, listening at home, just picture the Beetlejuice song in your head. It's the Beetlejuice song. If it were played by Garth Brooks, that is the score of this movie. And it's playing as score while they're chasing her. But every time it cuts to Mila Kunis's car, it is playing on her radio.
Through the stereo.
Diegetically.
Yeah.
It is. Thank you for bringing that up.
I was like, we
completely forgot about
There was that stock music in that Moody right there.
talk about
that. Was not stock music. That was them saying, "Hey, do your best, Danny Elfman," because
no,
there is no way.
They failed.
And I love how the cop is on my notes right there. I love how the cop is saying like, "Well, this is like a $200 fine." Like he's like saying,
Yeah, he's like racking up a bill.
Went over. This is cost you."
yeah.
He's this bumbling idiot.
Yeah, so she drives off the curb or
Her name's Rachel Newman the whole time.
Rachel. That's
the
how
movie.
we know her. And so she drives to her death with William Shatner in the car, and oh no, she's dead. And they investigate it, and it's 2 bodies in the car, and she's dead. And I think it's at this point where the movie reveals the twist. And this twist makes no sense whatsoever.
They were trying to do a Kaiser Sose and completely failed.
They shit the bed doing this Kaiser's.
Usual Suspects is a home run as far as, twist go.
Oh, yeah. And
Home
this
run.
movie
This is a slow roller to the catcher. It's a sword. This is horrible.
Okay, so the twist is that Rachel is in fact not
Good
Rachel.
luck.
And so Rachel befriended Rachel. I'm just going to call her Mila Kunis because it's going to get very confusing at this point. So Mila Kunis is not really Rachel.
No.
Rachel was a college freshman who was about to start her freshman year, was enrolled in William Shatner's class, and Mila Kunis made friends with her, learned that she was an orphan, learned that she was also conveniently enrolled in the class that Mila Kunis wanted to take. So Mila Kunis murdered Rachel, the real Rachel, stuffed her in the closet, and lived out the entire semester in her dorm room.
Yes.
Attending her classes as Rachel. Why? And that's just the point. Why? This is a twist that didn't need to happen.
This is maybe from The Girl Who Couldn't Die. Or maybe they threw this in for American Psycho 2, The All-American Girl.
No, because
What
it
do you
wasn't
think?
the weird identity stuff. I think this must be referring to The Girl Who Wouldn't Die. It must be something to do with this switcheroo at the end.
There is a cool scene of a dead, decaying body in the closet.
That was the coolest shot of the movie, where they revealed that that was Rachel and that she had been there the whole time. It's like a flashback scene because at one point, Mila Kunis's real parents come to visit her at school.
And they notice how the room stinks.
They say, oh, the room smells. And she goes, oh, there's the sewer problem.
Thinks she's got all the other bodies in there, but that's not the case.
No. And then later, at this point, they revealed, no, the stink was the real Rachel rotting in her closet. So there's so much to unpack in this twist, people. Bear with me for about 60 minutes.
There's the beginning of the twist, and then is that when they give the twist, right? And that's when the parents and the psychiatrist and the mothers all meet at the French restaurant.
No, that's earlier.
Is that earlier?
Yeah, I think
I skipped it because it's not necessary.
It's not. The only thing important about that scene is the fact that her father doesn't like spicy Italian food, and the fact that the waiter will sometimes speak in an American accent, sometimes speak in a French accent.
I think the importance of that scene to the eagle-eyed viewer was
The psychiatrist called her Rachel.
And then the
I need to
mom
speak to you for a
says,
second. Why does he call you that name?
why did he call you Rachel? That's what that
remember.
scene is in there for, because as a viewer, we're supposed to go, what? So Hollywood. Let me speak. Where's my camera? Let me speak to Hollywood for a minute. If you're gonna do a twist, a good twist, takes everything that you've seen before it and puts it in a new, clearer light that you appreciate even more. Let me give you 3 good examples. You already said Kaiser Sose in Usual Suspects. Brilliant. The whole Bruce Willis thing in The Sixth Sense. That was a twist. He was dead the whole time. It now makes you reevaluate everything you had seen up until that point, and you see it in a new light and a new context. That is a good twist. And the third one I come up with off the top of my head is Westworld Season 1, where you all of a sudden learn that the Ed Harris character and the younger cowboy are in fact the same person, and you're just watching two different timelines. It's jumping in time. You think it's happening at the same time. But when that twist happens, it now clarifies everything that you've seen up to that point. That is a good twist. A good twist clarifies everything you've seen up to it and gives it new context. A shitty twist is American Psycho 2, All American Girl, where all of a sudden they're like, hey, you know Rachel? Well, guess what? She wasn't really Rachel. She was some other chick. And it's like, why? But why? Like what? What? Okay.
So questions and answers on that
questions.
review.
Yeah. So that's why I said, give me an hour, because I got to unpack this. This raises way more questions than answers. So first of all, we know she's not an orphan. She's got parents. We've met her. So she could have, they look middle class. Let's say she could afford to go to college. So it's not like she has to kill Rachel in order to go to college. Otherwise, college is unattainable. Yeah. She is doing really well in this college class. She is on a very short list of people who will be the next TA. So she's obviously smart enough and capable enough to be in college. So why isn't she matriculated and attending college as Mila Kunis? I can't even remember what her name is. I'm sorry.
God,
it's not Rachel Newman.
It's not Rachel Newman, and it's not Mila Kunis, but I'm just going to say Mila Kunis. So why isn't she matriculated as Mila Kunis, attending classes as Mila Kunis, and just going for the position as Mila Kunis? Like, why did she? And also, okay, so she just happened to find a freshman who had matriculated into that class but not attended it yet, or else people are going to be like, wait, you're not Rachel. We met Rachel Monday and you're not her.
Also, you can pull anything past this class.
A criminologist. And then she murders her. So I guess real Rachel must have paid up all of her tuition and all of her dues and everything through the year, because again, when those bills come due, she as Mila Kunis can't walk into the bursar's office and say, pull up Rachel Newman's account. I need to pay for my next semester of classes. So that's going on.
And totally going past the fact that you got a college ID with your picture on it.
Right. Yeah.
That you don't really need
a student ID.
Yeah.
Only if you're on a meal plan.
And then furthermore, I don't know if you guys caught this line, but at some point when they're establishing that Rachel Newman is in fact not Mila Kunis, they said she was reported missing by her friends. Okay, so that means that real Rachel Newman had made friends at that point, and Mila Kunis had been living the entire year in her dorm as Rachel Newman, attending the classes that Rachel Newman had signed up for, and these same friends didn't notice there's an imposter Rachel Newman walking around?
A single person dorm, by the way. Yeah.
A single person dorm. So it's like, it's one of those things where that was the twist, and I was like, guys, no, that twist is raising way more questions than answers, and it wasn't cool. Like, it wasn't like, oh my God, my mind is blown. It was just, well, that was stupid. So that was the big twist, is that really she was not Rachel Newman. She had killed Rachel Newman, and furthermore, one more thing to unpack. She kept Rachel Newman's body the entire year because she, I guess, had forethought to know at some point she was going to have to stage her own death, and she needed the body for the dental records. Because that's how, when she drove off the cliff, she conveniently wasn't really in the car. She put Rachel Newman's dead body back in the driver's seat, drove it off the cliff. When the cops found the body, it, I guess, had been burned to the fact that they didn't realize that she had been dead for 4 months or more. And okay, oops, Rachel Newman is now declared dead, and Mila Kunis is a ghost floating in the ether. For the next twist coming, Dave, what's the last twist of the movie?
It's a banger.
Oh yeah, then the psychiatrist writes a book.
Best-selling
author.
About the Rachel Newman case.
At Quantico, signing books. A book is placed before him, who I make this out to, says the name, and it's the old TA that.
Yeah, it's probably the best part of the twist.
And then he, looks up and there she is, and she's got like glasses and like all dressed up.
Right. And it's Mila Kunis.
And still unsure.
And she
looks a lot like that TA, though. I will give it that.
She takes the name because there was in the psychiatrist something like, who's your hero, or who do you look up to, or something
Right.
And she said,
It
who
was-
I want to be.
It was the
I wanna
current
be-
TA for her
that's
year.
who I want to be.
And they pull it off. They do look alike once you put
No,
Mila
that
Kunis
is
in her
that is
outfit.
actually true.
Yeah.
They cast an actress that looks like her.
They did a great job.
So you're right. Earlier when she visits her, which must be the only reason why she went to the psychiatrist, is to set this up at the end, because plot-wise,
yeah.
there is no reason for her to visit the psychiatrist. But you're right. When she's at the psychiatrist, he asks her, "Who could you be other than yourself?" And she says, I can't remember the name, but whatever. Jane Doe, my teacher's assistant in my class. I wish I were her because she's going into the FBI. Like at that point, like it had kind of already been established that was going to happen next once the semester was over. And then we have learned that she has since killed that woman and went to the FBI, which is the body of the government in charge of running background checks. So apparently getting fingerprinted is not part of becoming an FBI agent, because
But if neither one has ever been fingerprinted before that time, then she can get away with it.
I guess, sure. So yeah, she rolls in
as agent.
Jane Doe, whatever the lady's name was. She must have had legal ID, like, because she had to fill out a W-9, so she must have had a social security card under this woman's name. She must have had a government license under
She
this.
must be an orphan too. Orphans are attracted to the FBI women.
Yeah, that's true. This woman,
two orphans.
you're right, because if that woman wasn't an orphan, then she would have been reported dead. So yeah, my God, it's just so many more questions
And
than
lots of
answers.
babysitters, I mean, I guess they never met the professor. Or else they could have put one and one together. Oh, your babysitter used to date this guy. What's going on here?
You're right. No one reported Jane Doe, the teaching assistant, dead, missing, whatever. And yet she now is and so at this point, she's not a student. She is, we fast forwarded 2 years in the story. She is an FBI agent, a full agent for the FBI under someone else's name. And then it ends. And she said that she had to present herself to her psychiatrist because there was no point pulling off the greatest crime ever if someone else didn't know about it. And I'm sitting there watching going, but her whole motivation throughout this entire film was not to create the greatest or perpetrate the greatest crime ever. It was to join the FBI. So she's now to hunt serial killers. So she's now put that at jeopardy by revealing herself to her psychiatrist as, haha, I'm not dead.
But this is not the smartest guy in the world, because he asked another student in line. He goes, "Do you know that woman?" Then he, of course, he gives the name and the rundown of who she is, you know?
Right.
So it's just like, if you couldn't tell that was Mila Kunis, the All-American Girl, American Psycho 2, then it's just stupid. The ending is just, I mean, what's the word you can say right there? Okay, if this movie didn't have Shatner in it, it would be a big pile of poop in a can on fire. Shatner took it to just garbage. You know what I'm saying? That's what Shatner did to this movie.
He took it from a piece of shit to a piece of Shatner.
We're running that joke back. If it wasn't for all the Maxim models, William Shatner, and of course Mila Kunis, you know.
This movie is not good, people. Is it worth a hate watch?
I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think so either. It's
Just watch the Shatner part.
all right. I do agree with Tim.
And the tea sniffing. Watch Boyd Banks.
I'm
and
going
William
back to
Shatner.
watch some tea sniffing.
Yeah.
So
It's hilarious.
American Psycho 2 is on HBO Max right now. So just run to it, fast forward, watch William Shatner on the phone with the psychiatrist asking for Valium and a sheriff's deputy sniffing tea, apparently.
Eric, can you get me some Valium?
So it was when they announced an American Psycho 3 that she gave the interview to MTV, where she then let the cat out of the bag that American Psycho 2 was never supposed to be American Psycho. And then she asked people to please write into the studio and beg them not to make American Psycho.
Yeah, like petition, make
like-
a petition, do not let them make
Don't let them do it. Lionsgate has said they wanted to make an American Psycho franchise where it was going to be like American Psycho Vegas, American Psycho New Orleans, and it was just going to be like following an American Psycho in different cities.
I'd love to see American Psycho in Vegas. Yeah.
Would have had nothing to do with Patrick Bateman. So that was the point of those. All right, so that was but none of those movies ever happened. So there were no follow-ups to American Psycho 2. it killed the franchise before it could come to life. But those movies would have been written and developed as proper sequels. So I don't know. But I don't see how they could have been any better than this. So here comes the question. What would we have done differently if we had made American Psycho 2? Dave, any thoughts?
Yeah, like tone-wise, it was really weird. I would have ramped up comedy because like this, it's like, hey, it's a comedy, but not funny.
It's a comedy that is not funny. This movie is not funny. Other than William Shatner, it is not a funny movie.
So I feel like, yeah, they should have ramped up humor and maybe the gore violence.
Which is none, really.
Yeah, there's really not. And so, yeah, I would have, you get rid of the American Psycho tie-in. Just get rid of that. Make it its own movie. And, where she's killing her way to the top, trying to get to the head of the class, and she chops people's heads off. And it's
That would have been a great name for the movie.
That's what I would have done.
Oh, absolutely. No, like I said, American Psycho was a satire of cutthroat American commercialism, the stock market, the financial sector, all of that. I think you definitely could have done it as a send-up of college life, like you said. She tries to join a sorority and she has to kill her way to get into the sorority. She has to kill her way to get to the head of the class, like you said, and really make it like all out. Get rid of all the FBI stuff. Like, that is just strange. Like, no, she wants to be, in fact, they should make it like she wants to be an investment banker, right? Like, tie it back to Patrick Bateman. Like, she's this cutthroat, next generation yuppie, but she's not there yet. She's not graduated yet. And we're going to follow her, as she navigates through that college life to get to Wall Street. I think that is how you do it.
Oh, I just thought of something right this second as you were talking.
RoboCop?
No. So, the original, it's all Wall Street, this and that. And then my mind was just thinking like crypto or like cryptocurrency doing updating Wall Street, but now it's crypto. And I thought of the famous business card scene. I love the business card scene.
The business card scene is brilliant.
And then I thought, what if instead of pulling out business cards, they pull out NFTs? Nice. Showing off their NFT.
And they're all Bored Ape. Here's my Bored Ape.
Yeah, and then it's like this one, it's like, oh, the text,
that monkey is purple. My monkey's blue.
The hue.
Tales from the Crypto.
Oh, God.
Hey, singers.
Yeah.
Tim, I'm dying to know how you would have improved American Psycho 2.
I mean, I don't want to piss, how to improve that one? Or just not make a sequel at all?
Okay, let's say
to a great movie.
Listen. You're an executive at Lionsgate. You are in charge of developing the American Psycho 2 sequel. What do you do?
Oh man, such a good question. For all the movies we got to review, I got thoughts on how to make a kick-ass sequel. Now, it's hard for American Psycho because I love the movie so much, and I don't think the sequel ever should have been made. Then after we got to the fact that it was going to be another movie, you're like so disappointed. But if you don't have Christian Bale come back, why make? Because first off, that's the kind of part and role from a great actor. It's going to be hard to fill those shoes. Right. Say Jamie Kennedy filling Jim Carrey for Son of Mass. You know what I'm saying? It's like but is this like The Matrix? There's got to be a time while we talk about these sequels that aren't equal. Is it like the Matrix series where you got this great standalone movie like the Matrix and you ruined it by making two more, because really the next two Matrix makes the first one even less good, I think.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, I think a lot of people agree with that fact.
And I think a lot of sequels diminish the original, hence the show where week after week we're going to dissect these things. No, I agree. If Bateman doesn't come back, if Bale doesn't come back as Bateman, you just don't do it.
Yeah, you can't touch it.
You don't touch it. And if he does come back, I say you do it as like take two where now he really is killing people. Because like I said, in American Psycho, I believe he is not killing people. And so now he is completely broken from reality. And now in the second one, we see him as he's really killing people. And of course, it's going to have to get big. It's a sequel, so it's going to have to get bigger, more elaborate kills.
If you made him like a truck driver going across the United States, because he's always got a stereo with him. Right. And you're in a cab of a semi, you can have a really good conversation about, unknown facts of 80s pop bands. You know what I'm saying? So that'd be really,
But if Bale says no, you just don't do it.
No, there's no Bale, there's no American Psycho 2.
There is not.
It's an
And
iconic role.
and the
Iconic.
only grateful takeaway we have is that there is not an American Psycho 3. So for that, we can thank Hollywood.
Yeah.
All right, people, is that all we got for American Psycho 2?
I think so. I think that's
All right.
it.
Well, thank you all at home for listening to us on your podcast platform of choice or watching us on YouTube. Please like, subscribe, leave us a review. Be kind. We're just starting out. We'll see you next week on Sequels That Aren't Equal.